Hello, and welcome back to page 394. I'm your host, Molly Wobbles. Today, we're having a brief conversation with Michelle Bruno, who has been a longtime attendee of the Harry Potter Conference in Chestnut Hill, Pennsylvania. Michelle's popped in to let us know about the conference and some changes that they have to the format this year. Welcome, Michelle. Thanks, Molly. I'm so happy to be here to talk about the Harry Potter Conference. Yes, the Harry Potter Conference in Chestnut Hill, Pennsylvania, is a 2-day academic conference centered around all things Harry Potter. The conference has a call for papers, and people can submit their writing as well as different education plans they put into action, different projects, and then the favorite ones are presented at the conference. The conference runs both Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st, and it runs a full day programming each day. Wow, Michelle, that sounds like a lot of fun. I know that I have been to the conference a few years ago, but you've been going for, I think, 8 out of the 11 years. This year, the conference is virtual. So, can you talk a little bit about that format with us? Sure, Molly. The virtual format this year is new. In that the conference is going to do an every other year in-person conference. Prior to COVID-19, all of the conferences they had were in person. And then due to the pandemic, they had to start doing the conferences first virtually during the COVID year. And then they started with a hybrid format in the following year where attendees could either attend in person or online. Due to the time constraints of the people who run the conference, as well as just I think how big it's gotten, and some other events going on at Chestnut Hill College, organizers decided to change the format this year to every other year being completely virtual. And then in between those years, it will be completely online. So things are a little bit different than we're used to. However, if you've attended any of the conferences in the past few years, you did have the ability to attend virtually. So that part is not changing if you have done virtually in the past. Well, that sounds really interesting. For our viewers who haven't done the conference at all, can you please explain how they run the virtual format? Sure. So the Harry Potter Conference has everything on their website. They have the programming on there as well. When you sign up for the conference, you pay your admission fee, which is about $15 for both days, and you will get a link for their Zoom rooms, usually a few days before the conference begins. They run 2 concurrent sessions throughout the conference, and you can flip-flop back and forth between the Zoom rooms at your leisure. They will post the conference videos once the conference is over. So if you miss something in one Zoom because you're attending another, you can go back and watch it later, which I think is really great because in person they do run concurrently as well, and they run out of 2 different rooms in one of the buildings at the college. So you have to pick and choose which talks you want to be part of, and then if you miss something and it's not recorded, there's really no way for you to go back and see it. And sometimes they have some really good talks that run concurrently, and it's hard to choose between them. So the virtual format allows you to go back later and catch up on anything you missed, which for me is really great because I want to see it all. Well, that sounds really amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about what you can expect here at the conference? Sure. So it is an academic conference, which means a lot of the talks are literary criticism, and it's very thematic. Generally, there are 4 to 8 different themes, and each room centers around different themes for each session. Sessions run about 2.5 hours, and within that session, there are maybe 5 to 7 presentations. It depends on the length of them. They try to keep them each presentation between 30 and 45 minutes in length. And so what they do is they group their submissions into these different themes. And then you as the audience can choose whether you want to just stay for all of the talks in one theme or if you want to hop back and forth in between presentations. Because they do run concurrently and they do try to keep the time even, you are able to bounce back and forth between rooms and not miss any of the talk. Generally, the presenters will give a talk, and then there's time for question and answer at the end. There's also a keynote speaker about halfway through the conference, generally after lunch on Friday. Well, Michelle, that's really great. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for letting our viewers know about the conference. I hope you will join Michelle and I virtually, of course, October 20th and 21st on Zoom for the Harry Potter Academic Conference.